Welcome back to Now No Opportunity Wasted. I'm your host, Angelica Ross. It ain't even Monday, y'all. Monday's normally the day when I come out and do, the podcast and talk all about all the things. But I just had to hop on the mic. And a lot is happening in the world right now. As you know, this news cycle is just on hyper speed and we just can't keep up. So, when I struggle to keep up, I have to get on the phone, call my girl Reita, Shannon, and get her opinion to try to make things make sense because none of this makes sense. And I know I saw some people on the internet, Reita, they were like, I need to hear what Angelica thinks about this. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if you want to hear what I think about it because I have not fully. I'll say this. Okay, first of all, what we're just talking about straight off the bat, like breaking news basically, is Charlie Kirk was basically, I guess, would you use the term assassinated, killed? I don't know the exact framing that you use, but what I will say is that I I'm not saying that am this person that has like just this sympathy for a white supremacist. What I'm saying is I'm a human being that was on my phone earlier today and I was scrolling on my phone and I saw this video come up and I don't even know what made me stop on the video. I really don't even know why it stopped more than for a few seconds. And then I saw a gunshot. I saw blood squirting out. I thought it was an AI video, but it was so disturbing to see. Like that's just a disturbing image to see. But so I was shook when I saw that. I was disturbed. But I'm not necessarily saying that I'm sorry. What are your thoughts on what happened? You just a cold stone face.
My thoughts are very clear, and I have made my thoughts known online. Listen, I think that we can all talk about how we can say that we do not want to see gun violence perpetuate in our country, and we can talk about how we don't want to see gun violence, but that is not what is happening right now. People are mourning a white supremacist, and I'm going to tell you this: the trick of white supremacy is to make you feel bad for white supremacists. Charlie Kirk, the values that he espoused are the same values that allowed white people to sleep every night in this country, black folks enslaved. These are the same values that had white folks taking their kids to watch lynchings of black people as entertainment after church. These are the same values that had white folks feeding black babies, using black babies as alligator bait. Those are the values that he had. So the way I feel about it, I don't give a damn about a Charlie Kirk or a Charlie Kirk mama.
And I think too, a little bit of it for me was less too about him to me, and for what to me, what shook me was I always keep saying, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know when y'all ready to really pop things off because I know as a black trans woman, we oftentimes have our bodies and as black women, we oftentimes have our bodies on the front line and have to look back and folks is waiting for us to clear it.
That's right.
And that's why we saw at first when we weren't the ones at first in the streets, with the protesting. And we saw they weren't using martial law against the people who were going on their picnic protests. Was it like more, they were asking where the bouncy house was and all these different things. So, but what shook me was, oh, it's on. Because the violence has been one way to me. Because they keep saying, and you got these Democratic pundits saying, violence is never the answer, but it's always the answer for Netanyahu. It's always the answer for Trump. It's always the answer for police.
And it's usually the answer for white men. It's always the answer for colonists. So, I mean, people are trying to ignore the history of this country. The other thing I will say is people need to really pay attention to both the people and the elected officials and leaders in the country who have taken time to express thoughts, feelings, and prayers for Charlie Kirk and his family, but have never said a damn word about the number of Black people who are killed every single day by police. They haven't said anything about the genocide that both Palestinians and people in the Congolese are trying to survive. I mean, they haven't said a
Let
word
alone
about
them
any of that.
white people
Right, but you
that were shot in Minnesota, was
right,
it?
right. But the thing is that you have not said a word about any of those things, but you have time to memorialize and talk about Charlie Kirk and all this other crap and humanize him. I don't think so. And for some of y'all, it's internalized white supremacy
Ooh,
because I'm seeing Black leaders who have never said a word
yes.
about anything that has happened when a person who is not white is dying at the hands of another person. They never said a word, but now they have time to make statements, record videos, and get on TV crying about Charlie Kirk.
Listen, and usually Renita's like, Renita is the one pulling me back a lot of times with like, cause sometimes I be going hard with, the things and you be like, well, this. So usually like I got Renita on one shoulder, giving me what. But I have another friend that I want to bring on here that sometimes be my other shoulder.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on. Somebody said, I don't know if you saw my beautiful black trans sister, but I don't know if you saw. You did see because I texted you.
Oh, yeah. What? Oh,
I
yes. Yes.
somebody had posted a meme, and they said that Charlie Kirk's pronouns are was and were.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, he was obsessed with trans people and pronouns.
That's why it's a gag. Especially because our environment doesn't really understand that there are different types of pronouns. They don't understand like
Mhm.
you as a pronoun and things like that. Aaron, uh, you usually are here to air things out. Can you air it out for us in the sense of what does it come down to as far as how the sentiments? Because here's the thing, people know no opportunity wasted.
Mhm.
This is based in a spiritual space, and we try
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
come from a spiritual perspective on this, but as Buddhists also, it includes all the things. It
Mhm.
includes all the worlds, it includes all of the, sort of perspectives. So I'm trying to see the up and up on this, but
Mhm.
also there is a side to this that is very you have to be as blunt and targeted with what it really is, especially when you're dealing with your enemies.
Mhm.
Aaron, what's your thoughts on this?
Oh gosh, I have so many thoughts about this. I think when it first happened, there was a bit of, I don't think relief is the right word, but it was like, huh, you know, you don't say. Basically, it was something like that. But as the night went on, I really just started getting this feeling that I just don't like the optics of any of this. And I don't like how I feel this is going to be used against us. I think the reactions are mixed, of course. But I don't know. I'm so tired of this shit. And I think
I'm so tired of us being expected to have a response when other people get to not respond to black death and black trauma and genocide and everybody else gets to still post pretty cat pictures and different things and don't have to put out no kind of statements and different things. But as black people, we got to break out the choir.
I'm so tired of this country refusing to break up with white supremacy. That's what I'm tired of.
Yes, what are you gonna say, Aaron?
I said niggas want to. Niggas really feel like that. And I think that's also the people that are coming out and saying, this is a terrible thing, which it is terrible. I mean, this is a member of somebody's family. I'm not like, I mean, he has children, that aren't going to be able to know him. This is terrible objectively, right? But the niggas that are coming out and crying and saying whatever, that is how they feel because they are not.
Not you said they falling over the casket at the funeral
They
talking about
are, because
take
that is how
me
they
instead.
really
Not for
feel.
massa, no you
Right.
not.
But I don't know. Niggas feel like this. I'm not shocked by people coming out and defending people who are grieving or whatever. I think everybody in this country is playing a fucking game right now. And I think we have been playing one since November 5th of last year.
Or
So,
before, yeah.
yeah, I mean, but especially since last year, I think it's you said it's on earlier, it's been on. And I think they have been begging the people to come out and protest so they can do whatever. This to me doesn't actually feel like it's from the left. This actually
I was
doesn't
going to say
feel
that
like
too.
it's
It does
coming
not
from.
exactly feel like this is necessarily, and not to mention, some folks are feeling like this is a coordinated hit in order, like even on behalf of Netanyahu, like some
It
people
was
already just
one
started,
shot.
girl, there was somebody trained.
Well, I saw somebody speaking about like how hard the shot was, and they were saying that now because of the advanced technology with guns that everybody has access to with these scopes and everything, they were like, that's actually not a hard shot. Now everybody has military weapons to be able to shoot with precision that you would think only a trained person could. So I don't know.
Very, but it could very well be an inside job, and this is what this is what folks need to understand about white supremacy. It don't even protect white people.
Exactly.
They will use you as a casualty
That's
to
what's
get to
so
their end goal.
exhausting. That's why it's so exhausting to
Hmm.
me. Because I'm like, we are being used. All of us are being used for some shit that is above all of our fucking pay grade. And I think there was the part of me that was like, okay, yeah, a white supremacist is dead. But I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what is what is going on? This is just exhausting. What are y'all even fighting about? And I don't believe it was a random person because it was too many people to hit.
Well, I think also what you were alluding to as well is that, like, this seems provoked too on Trump's behalf. And what I mean by that is, since the 34 felony counts, since even before then, Trump has been like punking us all and been like, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? And so now I think with him trying to create martial law and trying to get us, like, trying to go black, doing everything, releasing all Martin Luther King, this, doing releasing all kind of dirt that thinks is going to get black people upset and get us into the streets. And we weren't rushing into the streets right away. So now he's been amping things up so that they can justify militarized force against us. They think that we're coming out with signs. They didn't expect the guns. And the thing I want to say as well is, I don't know what to, like, I'm saying right now, I don't know, because I know one thing, I'm registered. I'm in Georgia, we're concealed carry. Is it open carry, concealed carry?
Now you don't need anything in Georgia. You don't need a license. Anybody can get a gun.
But do you have to have it concealed?
What? I mean, it's true.
Do you have to have it concealed?
I think you still have to have like a license for that.
No, I mean, like, so like you can,
Or to be concealed.
but so say for instance, like, I can have it underneath my, like, I stay strapped.
This is an open carry state. I do know that.
That's what I'm asking. If it's open carry, then I'm gonna start carrying it on my titties. I'm just gonna start. So they see it right here. Bitch, don't start. None won't be none. I'm pro ho, pro black, pro trans, pro everything. But because the thing is like, as a Buddhist, they say, because somebody also posted, live by the sword, die by the sword. And they know that he was a big proponent of the Second Amendment rights, so much to say that casualties are necessary in upholding that.
That's what he said.
And he ended up being one of those casualties. But so my thing is, as a Buddhist, I'm like, Nam yo ring I'm doing that. But at the same time, I know that, listen, I know technically, I know in the belief and the faith and all that. Listen, okay? So I'm going to speak to the faith and say, I know that we protect it, pray and chant. I know, but they got guns. And so the thing is that I don't know how safe I would feel having my oppressor be that armed. and I'm not.
Right. But I think that this is a function of white supremacy just turning on itself. And I say that because, you know, the same folks who went to the Capitol and did January 6th, you got the same folks who are always like the root of this type of violence. I think that a lot of this is, it was only a matter of time until all this kind of turned on itself. And like you said, Black folks have been trying to tell everybody in this country for so long that white supremacy hurts everybody. It hurts people who are not Black, and it also hurts white people. And now you're just seeing the evolution of what we have been saying. White supremacy hurts everyone. I told Angelica last week, listen, I need heart attacks to be a little more reliable because why is Trump still living?
Baby, I think they gave him a stroke because they said, y'all know if you've seen that video out there, he's sitting next to Melania, and people are like, I'm no doctor, but that looks like a stroke. He literally hit the whole side of his face is just slumped down. Have you seen that, Aaron?
No.
So have you seen that?
I haven't seen it, but I think he's been looking not in great health for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, and not to mention he was MIA for a while.
Right.
We wasn't even sure. And then JD Vance talking about unsolicited, talking about I'm ready. Should there be a need?
Right.
For
There's
me,
not a need.
Should there be a
There's not
need?
a
I'm
need.
ready to hop into
There
office.
will never be a need for you, JD.
Obviously, he has some information though that maybe the public doesn't have. All I can say is this: we do need to. This is what also I think that, and Aaron, I want you to tap into this too, because this is also what I think is the huge issue. I've been screaming. Everybody's been screaming. I know you've been screaming. Trump is not the center mastermind of this. It's not even his plan.
Right.
They just he the figurehead.
Right.
So I need y'all to know it's a bunch of white people. It's a cabinet.
Hello. It's not just white people. It is
Exactly.
It is people in service of
That's right.
white supremacist ideology. Hello.
Absolutely.
Whether they are
And-
calling it that or not.
That's right.
So what do we have to say? What do y'all have to say about liberal politicians and media right now who are right now saying, I've heard Don Lemon, I've heard Jasmine Crockett, I've heard Cory Booker, I've even heard Ayanna Pressley, I've heard all these Democrats talking about violence is never the answer, and also saying, like, giving like almost like thoughts and prayers to Charlie Kirk and his family and all these different things. These are our representatives in this time as we're sliding towards fascism and don't have the weaponry they have. All we got is them on the Capitol Hill, and they're saying thoughts and prayers.
I would have to see their specific statements. I didn't see any of those. I did see Gavin Newsom's statement, which to me, he was talking about, oh, well, I know Charlie, he was a good guy. I used to talk to him, this and that. Any politician that will sit here and humanize Charlie Kirk and talk up for, oh, but you don't understand the other side of Charlie, the part that you didn't really see. Those are the people who will never fight for you. Those are the same people who, like I said before, have never said a word about any non-white person meeting death at the hands of another person, have said nothing about these police killings, nothing about Palestinians, nothing about folks in the Congo.
But baby, wait, but it's the tears. Hold on. I think his name was like Dean Withers, the young white boy.
Oh, you know what? I think I clicked his video. It was so long.
I saw it.
Girl, yes. So he is crying full tears as if somebody in his family was killed. I ain't seen them tears for the babies that have been burned alive and all the people that have been killed and shot in Palestine and I ain't seen that bring those kind of emotions, and all of a sudden they're posting videos with tears and crying for Charlie Kirk.
Well,
like I said, the country needs to break up with white supremacy.
Baby,
Well,
if the country breaks up with white supremacy, the country is breaking up with itself, and that is literally what is happening.
And it should.
It should. But that's the thing, y'all. That's the thing. We're here. The empire is falling. We are here. This ain't Catch a Fire, Hunger Game, whatever. This is the real life version. It's been that. There's billionaires. This is what I'm telling you. I have conversations coming up that Lord, pray for me because I got to navigate because we have AI. We have all of this technology. And what we have come to right now is when rich people have so much abundance, they'll drop something so that you can feel something for a little bit, quiet people down a little bit. That's how people who end up getting a little job here or a position of privilege, they're breaking off a crumb to you. That's a crumb. That's way less than what you can get with, so they're breaking off these pieces so that they can experience the brunt of the privilege. So what I know is just like they introduced crack cocaine into the black communities to destroy those communities, it don't mean it ain't some white people smoking their version of crack or whatever it is. It just ain't, they don't get the same policing and laws and things for it. But they introduce these things and they have different coping mechanisms to protect them from the repercussions of those things. Now they introduce AI and it's suffocating black communities. It's killing Elon's plants, killing AI communities, but it is getting them rich. Like they are going to be able to live at a different kind of pace. And the situation is we got activists out here telling y'all, listen, it's eating up all the water. Stop using the AI and doing all these things. Who cares what your baby's gonna look like with that person? You ain't having their relationship ain't even gonna last. I'm gonna be honest with you. As a black trans woman in this movement, they not gonna have guns and I'm not gonna have one. They're not gonna be equipped with the super technology and I'm over here sitting here light years behind. So all I know is I'm not trying to figure out what my babies look like. I'm trying to be strategic and organized with my thoughts so I can get my objective across. That's what so I know that I don't even know what to do right now with this, but it's like these are the weapons right now is AI. These are the weapons of choice. And we got to decide if we're going to go in unarmed or not, or armed, in my opinion.
Y'all don't want to know my thoughts.
Of course we do. That's why I brought you here to air it out.
I mean, I just feel like I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we talking about, y'all? I just feel like this moment on Earth is calling for such an awakening, and I just don't think what we are even saying we care about means anything to us if we're allowing this to continue in this way. I don't exactly know the future. I hear the AI piece, we've talked about it. I have a little AI assistant, honey. Well, she's not really an assistant, and I owe her some money, but that's a whole different conversation.
Right.
I think we're not really, I don't think we're facing the reality of what this is. I don't think this is simply, Democrats versus Republicans, liberals versus radicals. I mean, we are literally in the midst of a global fascist movement. And one of the leaders of this, young right wing
Building it up. Yeah.
resurgent has been used as a political tool so they can accelerate that for us. I just do not think we are prepared for what is happening. And
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I
not
wasn't
even
ready.
that, I mean any of it.
Listen, I wasn't ready. I know you're right. We're not, but the thing is, people who know me know that I've done a lot of work on decolonizing my mind, on being able to give up certain things, putting myself in a certain position. Like I've done work to be ready for certain things, and I still was not ready for it to pop off like that. Meaning, like, I just thought people was bullshit. Meaning, like, I thought this is going to continue to be bullshit and it's not going to change till white people decide that things are going to change.
I was ready because you know what? I look at history and I always knew with every day and everything that the Trump administration was doing, I knew they were going to overstep. People are getting to the point where they are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so I knew that this would be the natural evolution. So I'm not super surprised by what happened yesterday, because it is only a matter of time that you can, at a certain point, white supremacy has to cap out. And I think that that is what we are seeing happening. So I'm not very shocked. I'm not that surprised because I knew that, Trump had already invaded all these cities. He had already used the military against folks. Like, how much do you think that people are going to take before
we become Nepal?
Right. Well, Nepal or France. I mean, they just burned down their government
France
buildings
scary.
and right. Like, I mean, and this is like they've done this a couple times now. So, I mean, there is a having been an elected official, I'm gonna tell you this. Smart elected officials know there's only you don't have all the power. The people have the power. There's only so far that you can push and take things before people are going to revolt. And the only reason that you have government or a system that works or any of this stuff is because people use that social contract to kind of agree, okay, we're going to make decisions by doing things in a, you know, in a way of
Diplomatic way. Yeah.
democracy. Right. A democracy is only as good as everybody agreeing that that's still the best way to go.
And they have not been like, again, and what people have pointed out, but some people are really letting go over their heads, is they only see racism as certain overt actions, just like they only see violence
Right.
as certain overt actions,
Exactly.
and don't understand how violent these people have been.
Right. And there's lots of violence in policy.
Yes.
And you're right. It took a graphic video of Charlie Kirk being shot for some people to really understand, okay, let's have this full conversation on what is violence. Because we've had a lot of violence. Removing SNAP benefits to let more kids go hungry in this country, that's violence. Letting people...
I mean, think about Luigi Mangione.
Right.
Again, what he was resulting and reacting to was the violence
of the healthcare system.
Of the health violence.
Allegedly. You know, I don't know. I do not feel, I don't feel hopeful about this moment. I don't feel hopeful, and I don't feel like this is the last dying breath of white supremacy like I had hoped. And if
I feel like we're watching a scene in Sinners. I think that
which one?
Not which one.
Because what?
I think we're watching. It feels like we're watching the awakening of a moment where, like, oh shit, and the white people are coming, and meaning like it's been. We already know this was happening, but I think this is that tilting moment. And you say you may not have hope. I'm going to say this. I do have hope.
I do too.
And the reason why I have hope, the only reason why I have hope, because bitch, now it's on. We've been talking and playing and this and that and letting shit get away, this, that, and the third. Now it's like the only way through, the only way is through. We can't pretend anymore. We can't act. Racism's over. This is over.
Right.
No, it ain't.
Right.
You not when we got all these people being willing to do Nazi walks and parades down the streets in Tennessee and all these things. Not when we have
or Ohio,
people,
literally,
or Ohio, or people in the actual chambers keeping people like our representatives, Justin, I think it is, in Tennessee, in the House of Tennessee, keeping them out of the chambers to do certain things. I am done. I'm telling you right now, I've been done on this kind of page, but I am done with white people telling me that it's rain and that's piss. I smell it. That's piss. I smell it. So you're not going to keep telling me that this is not violence and this is this is that. And you're not even actually going to tell me, even though my passport has an M on it and I got to go to Africa. I'm trying to go to Africa in November for my birthday for a month. So we got to get that taken care of before I go to Africa, because you know they like to trip over there too. So we got to get that fixed. But I don't, in a normal sense, I don't give a damn, because you don't set the reality for me. As much as you keep doing all this, they are pulling every trick they can, because the empire is failing. And even as they're taking people's security, their certainty, their stability, people are still now saying, actually, it ain't working no more.
Right. And you know what? It's not just, anybody who's not white has been saying for a long time it's not working. But there are some white people who have now are awakening through this process, because they see that Trump got elected on white supremacy. And whether you voted for him or not, there are white folks who are seeing that this white supremacy agenda is not protecting you either. So there are folks who are waking up to this. I mean, the reality is, not to say that these are the only people that have been hurt, but the majority of the people who voted for Trump are the main ones that he has been kicking their ass every day.
Baby.
That's who's been getting slaughtered out here.
Baby.
Not literally, but I'm talking about the white farmers that he screwed screwed over the other communities of
The
color
white
who,
Latinos.
right, that helped
Mhm.
him, that voted for him. I mean, it's just
The
a
patriarchal black folks who are now getting rounded up in DC because you wanted to be transphobic and homophobic.
boom, all of it. So people are starting to see how this white supremacy agenda does not benefit anybody. I need them to wake up faster, but at least we are starting
We
it.
need
That
y'all to
does
wake
good
up
results.
faster.
Wake up faster.
Wake it
Wake
up.
up.
Wake
Wake
up.
up.
Okay. Thank you very much, Aaron Lang, for airing it out with us today. Thank you,
Thank
Renita
you for
Shannon, for
having
helping
me,
us.
ladies.
Yeah, thank you for helping us try to make some sense out of this. The cycle's gonna be fast, so I'm gonna be continuing to call on my girls to help me
Yes,
bring some
please.
commentary because honestly, we have to break in through the spectrum of this conversation from both the okay, what's the front facing sort of thing as far as like, how we doing this. And, also like, what's the reality of the situation? Like diplomacy aside, like we got to be real about what we're actually dealing with.
And one final thought from me. Listen, my shirt says Black women are perfect. I'm wearing this shirt today because Charlie Kirk talked a lot of shit about Black women. So
Absolutely.
Black women know that you are perfect. Let's stand in our power.
Absolutely.
And a final thought from me is just please make sure you and your people have plans outside of our fantastical vision of resistance. Make sure you and your people actually have some plans and y'all are on one accord because it's getting spooky out here.
It's getting very spooky. Stay safe out there. The answer I think to a lot of this is community. Know your neighbors. That means know the good ones and the bad ones. That's all I'm gonna say right now because I already got the internet abuzz because I didn't identify the Zionists in my neighborhood.
Okay.
They didn't send me an email all because I didn't say it in the email. Told them I was going off on the HOA and I basically said that ACAB includes the HOA. All cops are bad. That
Okay.
includes the HOA. But I also said, that I've been removed from so many jobs. Like I've been talking about, publicly or whatever, because of the evil Zionists. So those are pretty much the only things that I've said in the email about the situation. And I said, for me calling out the genocide that's being paid for by our tax dollars. So again, you can just say, and it's almost as if something in me said scratch the surface and a Zionist gonna pop up. So like something said scratch. So it said use genocide in the email. Use these specific words. Cause that's not nothing. That's not nothing. So if that's gonna pop somebody up and then call me anti-Semitic, call me all these things and talk about like all that, oh boom. I wrote the email back and said, oh, I found the Zionists in the neighborhood. Thank you for identifying yourself. Good to know. All right, y'all. Keep safe out there. Know who your neighbors are, the Zionists and non-Zionists alone. Yeah, we need to know. And we're going to, no opportunity wasted, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.